Friday, September 20th, market analysis. Stan Ehrlich, good morning. 10:06 California time, about the middle of the trading day on a Friday, regular weekend coming up, no holiday. So we have a significant amount of strength in the last couple of days. Today, we're starting to slip a little. The amount of strength we've got came up to in the E-mini right around where it topped out before July 16th, just before, immediately after, but right in that same price level. Topped out about 4 times in here, 5 times actually. This time we just came up to it and went above it, but closed just a little bit below those old highs. I keep mentioning if you're going to make new highs for an extended period of time, in this case, they were new historic highs, you damn well better close up above those old highs or you're at a tipping point and you might start to see some downside correction. And that's how double top formations are built, partially anyway. So I'm not saying that that's what we got. We could, we might. I don't think so yet. It's too early to tell, but we're dipping back down a little bit. Frankly, let's take another tact here. Let's talk about the bullish side of this. Just because we didn't close above previous highs, we did gain a lot yesterday. And it didn't get overbought, but it came super close. And it's not unusual to see overbought conditions on bullish breakouts. They just have another 1, 2, 3 days maybe or so of upside follow through, and then you get a little small correction back to support, typically the breakout level, and then back up to new highs again would be classic. Well, we'll see what happens here, but we haven't got that upside breakout. We've got it right on the fringe of it yesterday, and it's pulling back some. So let's go to the short-term chart, and that would be the 5-minute. I'm using 5-minute charts on the indexes today to give you a little bit bigger, but it's only about 2.5 weeks or something, 3 weeks maybe, picture. On the break, we did get a buy signal on September 11th, and we did have a day trade scalp that was very profitable, and we did have a position trade getting into the trade at the same levels that lasted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days and got stopped out this last Wednesday with a heck of a nice profit. I wish we were still long, and we could have been if we used a slower trailing yellow dotted line stop, but this is what I chose, and it worked out very, very well. Never cry over spilt milk. This could be something dramatically bad over the weekend and open a lot lower, and then I'm pretty happy I'm out. Whatever. I'm happy with this. So the bullish side of this is the occasional dip down in the last several days since the beginning of the week has come down to a classic short term, meaning it didn't have to have that much support level, turn right around and make new highs. Came down to support, turned around, popped into new highs, tested support again, same level as the previous day, the day before that, and showing some evidence even a day earlier than that, which turns out to be Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, last Friday. So we're holding at support levels, and we just did it again a little while ago. I mean, an hour ago or less. Yep, 2 hours ago, and are popping back up, but still, the spider's off about 1.5 of the day. We're off of 14, which is 1.5, basically 1.4. Just move the decimal point to the left one. And I don't see any major bearishness here. I don't see, this is not acting like a bear market, to be honest with you, at this point. We've got the S&P SPY, which did make a new high and on a closing basis yesterday, and did for the first time in a while, looks like a month and a half, get overbought, or maybe even a little less than a month, but about a month, back over here. And it did have a correction But here we are, a new high ground on a closing basis with the spider. The only thing I see that's bearish is the overbought condition, and we're dipping down today, but we stopped smack dab right at the previous old high over here in July, and that is support, and it just held exactly right there. If I was talking bullish, that's one level I would have been looking to buy at. Perfect. And we are now almost high and last. Now, yes, we're down 2.6 on the day. We'll see what happens next. I'm obviously starting to slide into the bullish camp, but I can't ignore, and I'm going to show you right now just a moment, October lows. Switching to TradeStation for one chart instead of NinjaTrader, which I've been using for a year plus now, NinjaTrader. But I have an indicator, a strategy that's been developed custom for me. EC Forecaster is the name of it, built in TradeStation. We'll probably get it built into multi-charts and NinjaTrader sometime soon. This depicts the month of October in a green bar, and I have placed the date that we have a turning point. Last year, October 27, the year before, October 13th, and that was a whopper. Year before that, October 4, October 30th, October 3rd, October 29th, October 25. Since 1993, and I can go back that far, I won't today, we have seen only 3 times when we fail to have some sort of a buying opportunity. It doesn't have to be the major fantastic low, but some sort of good rally from a low in October for a week or two or a month or two or maybe many more. But it starts in October. Sometimes it lasts a short period of time, and there's not a lot of money involved, but simply a good trade. And sometimes it's like October 13th of 2022. Yikes. Okay, back to NinjaTrader. It's just 90+% likely because of its history of over 30 years. Now, having said that, if we're going to get an October low, we're going to have some sort of a break starting somewhere. I just don't see it starting yet. And I think everything I'm looking at could lead to several more days of strength, which implies more overbought conditions and finally a really good reason to see a break. That will almost be the beginning of October. The last week of September is next week, including Monday of the week after next week. So then you get October on a Tuesday, 2 weeks from now. Okay. And the rally high could be at the beginning of October, and you could have a very big fast break for a week or 2 or 3 or 4 during October. How far down are we going to go? Well, obviously, my first objective would be 510, but I don't see that starting yet. Next chart, Spider 5 minutes, acting pretty good. I mean, it hits a low and a little bit of support and starting to rally nicely, challenging the high of this morning so far. A little overbought on a short-term 5-minute chart, but nothing big. Okay, QQQ. This is the laggard of the 3, YM, Qs, and Spider, and that, of course, includes E-mini. We have just barely made it up to the highs that we saw back in August 22nd, which is nowhere near the highest high, which is way up here on July 11th. So you've got a lower high and then another one yesterday that is almost the exact same high, call it the same. And it got close to overbought, but not quite. But it gapped up. I mentioned possible exhaustion gap. I mentioned gaps are almost always filled. Today, it's filled. And the low of the day today, as I'll shock you in a moment, was almost a perfect hit for 1 minute or less. So what have I got? Not enough bearish. Well, TradeStation does do that sometimes. Steals my screen away. Back to Ninja. So we filled the gap. Perfect. Next day, not uncommon at all. And looking at the next time frame, that was the low during only 1 minute time frame that got down low enough to close the gap, and we're coming right back up. So we'll see what today brings for the end. If we close making new lows, well, maybe my bearish story, which I'm not positive of now, I'm a little iffy on it, is still going to come to pass. I can't ignore the likelihood of October being a low. It's just when is it going to start and how far down is it going to go? I thought I had it. I didn't. Okay. Momentarily, I'm neutral to maybe a little friendly. Going to the NASDAQ futures, didn't make a new high, came close. The NQ, and so it's got so far 3 highs. The last one lower than the previous, lower than the previous. Kind of defining a downtrend, sort of, although this high is damn close. So you could, like the QQQ. So I don't see it. There's just no reversal here. We're not overbought. We're at a little bit of resistance. Maybe we're going to pop up one more time and get overbought in everything. So far, 3 out of 6 indexes I watch. Half of them. Next chart, NASDAQ 5-minute, came back, support, bounced right off of it, almost exactly. I think I put that in brand new as a new line this morning. And other support levels have held up and down both and produced this new high. And again, it's not even quite as high as back on August 22nd. So that's a resistance level. I just don't have enough conviction either direction at the moment to be super bullish or super bearish yet. All right. And now we're going to go to the YM. We did have a bearish engulfing sell signal officially on Wednesday. Didn't work. Made new highs on Thursday. Bad. Today, we're near the opening at around the high of the day, up a little on the day. No particular sign here other than being overbought yesterday and the day before that this market is turning around. It's not really turning around. It's just a little bit more likely to do so because of the overbought condition. Below the market right now, we do have various levels of support because of the range that it had developed starting in July 18th, which we did get the exact high day. And on the bottom, we almost got the exact low day. So I'm disappointed Wednesday didn't turn out well. But these signals are, again, not necessarily the lowest low, but oftentimes part of the low developing, sometimes developing a formation as well, not always. So maybe this is, I don't know. It's a little confusing to me. It did not look particularly bearish. Day trade loss yesterday on our scalp and our overnight, both got in, got out. There's the little red lines from the signal on Wednesday. This is the ER3s. Next, Russell. We caught the bottom of the Russell. It had a great trade, got out on Tuesday. Coming up some more, but now in overbought conditions and in a major resistance area. Frankly, the Russell looks like one of the most likely to be turning down again. So I've got some that look a little more likely to turn down than up. All right, that's enough. I've spent a lot on the indexes time. Bonds. Okay, let's go to the Russell 5-minute. Nothing new here. Bonds, 8 ticks higher. Basically caught the high of the rally, no signal on an overbought condition, testing a bear trend line on Tuesday, Wednesday down, Thursday down, sideways today. Fine. I think we have rolled over. Remember, I am looking for a low in this green circle during October in this price range. Maybe the high end of the circle, but come on, let me get down to 120.5. Next. Notes, we did get a sell signal exactly on the high of the market this week and down on Wednesday, down on Thursday, making money, and we're still short. I know you can't see that very well. That's much better. Sold it right there. and sold the ER3 a little higher the next day, Wednesday. And then Wednesday's close was soft, profit on both. We got lower, quicker, better, faster on Thursday, and we're bouncing a little bit today. Nobody is out of the trade. We're still short ER1 overnight and ER3 overnight. Up 9 momentarily. I'm looking for lows in this October timeframe and this price range vertical circle. Next, crude. Could be stopping where I thought it would. Yesterday it did. Today so far it did, but it's up a little bit right on that line. We're not overbought, not even close. It might rally a little bit more. But at the line, which is a good point to consider a possible high, it is having a little trouble. We're getting close to resistance. If we do, we'll be breaking out of this minor double bottom and have a minimum upside objective of about 2.8, but the breakout has not happened yet on natural gas. We bought the bottom day. We have a green buy signal on the low day. There's a ton of things you can do with these signals. You don't have to follow necessarily the trading system, automated 100% buy, trailing stop, offset, period. Next, heating oil. Oversold at the bottom. Other than that, no signal, nothing. Up a little bit more, up to resistance, maybe 2.2-ish, and then turn down again. Gold. Very disappointed it's gotten this strong, this fast. You've got a legitimate breakout, a little bit follow through, a move back down toward the line support, and another move right back up in a new high ground. Absolutely classic. I just mentioned this type of price action earlier in this recording. So although it's overbought and it's due for a little bit of a dip, I don't see anything significantly bearish about this at all. I'm sorry to say. That means that platinum and silver are going to be influenced to some degree. Silver market, new high, minor amount. I've got to stop talking, I think, about this head and shoulder top going all the way down to these levels. I'll erase the downside objective line, keeping the stick or the depth of the formation and probably making it more translucent as this rally continues. My sell signal on Wednesday didn't work. We took a tiny day trade profit on the scalp out of the market and the overnight out of the market on Wednesday and Thursday. But being flat Thursday's close and today, all I'm getting is almost overbought again. We'll see what happens. I might revive this head and shoulder top downside objective if I can get some kind of big sell signal real soon. But this has gotten too strong, too long, and I kind of have to stop talking about the previous head and shoulder top, which worked halfway down. Man, I got a buy signal at the very bottom of the break, but I didn't think it was going to spoil my big pattern. I thought that was going to last just a little bit, which it did, and stop here and then make new lows. But when it turned around here, that started to throw me for a little bit of a loop. So going a little bit neutral here. Next, I have to say the same thing kind of in platinum. I'm going to erase the downside objective line, leave the stick or depth of the formation dipstick, if you want to call it that, on the screen, maybe making it more translucent. But I have no sell signal. We're not quite new highs on platinum, but it doesn't look like it's going to go down too much here. I got to wait. Neutral. Copper's a different story. We got a buy signal almost at the low on August 12th, worked out very nicely. Got a buy signal on September 5th at the low of the break at the time, and it's still coming up great. New highs today, getting overbought and resistance. So I'm kind of afraid this is going to start to roll back down. The upside breakout of the double bottom formation has happened on a closing basis yesterday for the first time. Today's low is right smack at the breakout price level, so that's classic. At the moment, we're down a hair, but we did make a minor new high. Don't see anything here that's going to spoil my upside objective being fulfilled. Maybe 2-3 weeks, 4.6. We'll see how it goes. bullish up to 4.6. Beans, currently not overbought or oversold. Looks like a doji, but we're down 2 cents, so it's a bearish engulfing. My long-term picture in grains is neutral to bearish. We're awful low historically. I'm not sure how low it can go. I know from an inflation standpoint, obviously, the lower it goes, the better, but it just won't go to zero. You know that. So somewhere along the line here, just when the fundamentals seem to be the most bearish, of course, in retrospect, and you don't know it at the time, we're going to see beans form some kind of a major bottom. And I hope I can guide you into that as it's developing and breaking out, et cetera, but not yet. Soybean oil, same thing, not yet. Soybean meal, pretty much the same thing, no major bottom yet. Okay, corn, I did that by accident. Corn, absolutely the same thing. Resistance stops the rallies. Trend lines, if you got them, stop the rallies. We see new lows periodically. Wheat is the same thing. Where's my wheat? There's my wheat. It stopped on overbought conditions, starting to make lower lows. I think we're going to break the bottom. We did buy the bottom in wheat and some of the other grains. I didn't point that out. It doesn't matter. If it doesn't turn into a bull market, you've only got a short-term rally for a reasonable amount, making some money, but no major bull market turn that I can figure out yet. We have head and shoulder bottom potentials, but not even, we're still weeks away from lows. Next, cattle, overbought, through, into, and through resistance. Maybe it's going to pop up a little more. Finally, it broke out on a closing basis yesterday of a double bottom formation right at that level, closing above 180 and a quarter. That was yesterday for the first time. And then we have on yesterday's upside breakout, huge follow through today. Classic major breakout, no problem. Supposed to get up now to 186.60. That's my upside objective. So I'm already, because of the big update today, halfway there. It wasn't a big deal to begin with. A large formation, no. Took place over about 2 to 3 weeks. Small, vertical height, reasonable. Nothing super bullish about this. Next, hogs, nothing going on. And lastly, again, our E-mini. And going to short-term 5-minute chart. Nope. Nothing I can see here that looks like it's about to roll over big time. NASDAQ 5-minute, turned around just a hair. And the Dow 5-minute. You guys have a great weekend and profitable trading for you. Profitable trading to you.